What's going on, everybody? First film room of 2025. Good to see the Steelers offense come out hot with an opening drive score against the Jags. I'm going to break this thing down play by play schematically, highlight some individual reps that I liked as well. Just a quick request, if you guys could drop me a like, drop me a comment. That would help me out a ton, and make sure you're subscribed if you're a sicko that is looking for real in-depth football content like this. So Steelers come out 12 personnel. We shift into 2x2. This is going to be a old school Shanahan concept off play action. We're going to get the 3-level stretch with the clear out, the 18-20 yard dig, and then we've got kind of a check down in the flat off play action. So kind of want to highlight this route by Roman. Really like this rep by him. The condensed split is going to give him kind of a natural inside leverage against the corner who's playing off man coverage. What I like about this is as he gets into his stem, he does a good job not letting the cornerback be physical with him. And then as he, gets up to about like 15 yards, he's going to start leaning outside. Then he's going to give a pressure step with his left foot to kind of snap off and run out of that break. Now, as he's running out of the break, what I really like is he gets friendly to the quarterback, coming flat and back to the ball. That just prevents the cornerback from being able to find the low hip and make a play to try to force the incompletion. So, pass protection standpoint, we're going to get this this play action slice from Hayward here, and he's basically going to be responsible for whoever shows up. With them in man coverage, they're probably going to be adding on to the blitz. Overall, pretty nice pocket for Rudolph, who delivers a really nice strike there to Wilson in the middle of the field. That flag is for illegal contact at the top of the screen. So, next play here, we're going to get a trap pass. I always think of like Brady and Gronk just killing teams over the years with this play. Kind of a funny story. I actually saw an interview about this where they actually got this from the Colts, Peyton Manning, and then used this against them after the lockout season. But all trap pass is you're trying to get this hard play action to draw the linebackers at the second level up, and then you're trying to sneak the tight end for this crossing route behind it. The Steelers are going to run it with a flat route to the shallow. Short completion here. The linebackers do a good job kind of retracing and not coming up too hard for the play action. But this is a difficult block. This is not the most sound pass protection in my opinion, because you're asking the guard, in this case Mason McCormick, to come out and block an edge rusher in space. Now, you do have the running back there who can kind of make him right and bump the rusher back on the track if he does lose initially. But this is one of those situations where, as the guard, you got to be quick but don't hurry. You want to arrive in control, but you got to get on the move a little bit. And it's really up to the quarterback to make a quick decision to get this ball out quickly. You can see Zero here does a good job retracing. Rudolph takes a check down, gets it out. Decent gain, 3 yards, move on to the next play. Next one right here, we're going to be in 11 personnel with Miller coming across in motion. We're going to get an RPO. Now, this is a really veteran savvy play, in my opinion, from Rudolph, and kind of talk a little bit about why. So, generally speaking, from the defense's perspective, the Jaguars are in nickel. Anytime the back is away from the nickel, he can fast fit to the B gap to help you defend any of these inside zone runs. You can see Jordan Lewis, number 2 here. He's cheating inside because he's not expecting the RPO. You normally think of RPOs when the back is to you. Rudolph is actually peeking him out of the corner of his eye right here and gets the ball out to Wilson. Could get a little bit better block from Brandon Johnson at the bottom, but again, really nice 5-yard gain to stay on schedule. Set yourself up for third and manageable right here. You can see Rudolph does a nice job almost aborting the fake. He's just looking at 2 out of the corner of his eye. Just really nice to see Roman Wilson, get involved early. Didn't play in the preseason, get him a couple touches. Just really like this. This sets up third and manageable. Really simple concept. We saw this ran a ton last year with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Really basic. This is just all stick from a 2x2 formation. Nothing really too fancy. Inside receivers, they're going to run up 5 yards, turn. For the quarterback, they can run out if it's man-to-man coverage, and they're just going to get quick outs, 5 yards. And Rudolph does a really nice job here. You can see how the Jags are playing cover 3. This cornerback is playing 8 yards off. This is just a free access pitch and catch. Nice job getting a completion. Doesn't need to be made any more difficult than that from a pass protection standpoint. Both the tackles facing off against really a really nice edge rusher duo in Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker. Again, really like the inside hand punch right here from Fautanu. Does a good job playing long and playing balanced. Kind of widen the edge rusher. Nice pocket for Rudolph on the 3-step drop. Easy completion. This next play right here, Steelers going to be in 12 personnel, really condensed. The Jags are going to shift from an even front to a bare front. Kind of talk a little bit about that from once we get to the end zone angle. But right here, probably the worst play of the drive, to be honest with you. They did have a penalty as well. But Roman Wilson kind of coming down from this condensed split. I think his split is a little bit too wide, which is part of the reason he's not able to come down and get this support defender right here. He's really got to go and be aggressive in terms of triggering down to get that guy. We also allow some penetration on the left guard right here. You'll see Spencer Anderson kind of get this defensive end, ends up getting into his frame and resetting the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a really difficult thing. But this is something you're seeing a lot of in the NFL right now in terms of like how to counteract some of these outside zone systems. You're seeing a lot of like even spacing become odd fronts or bare fronts. And right here, I just think that the way that the Steelers are choosing to block this, irregardless of Wilson not being able to get the support defender, the safety down here who triggers hard to the C gap, I just think the way that they're blocking this makes it really, really difficult because on the backside, Fautanu actually comes back off to get this edge defender. I mean, traditionally speaking, that defender is the guy that the quarterback in the boot is responsible for, right? So it's not like he's going to be able to chase the play down from behind while he's still monitoring the bootleg as well. And they're actually asking Broderick Jones here to come up and get the middle linebacker, which all in all is fine. But we don't have anyone to block zero, who is the play side linebacker. And that's going to make it really difficult to have a successful front side play. Now, Campbell, the force defender on the right side of the screen, number 3, he had a really rough game. He, for whatever reason, ends up shooting inside and allows Caleb Johnson to get to the perimeter. Unfortunately, he can't keep his feet. But next play here, this is right after the penalty. So this is like 2nd and 19. This is peak preseason type of stuff here, honestly, from the Jags. Kind of rewind this back to show you guys why it's kind of funny watching this. I could not, for the life of me, figure out what the Jags were trying to do here, and it's because they only have 10 guys on the field. So pretty hilarious after a penalty. You don't even have enough guys on the field. Peak preseason type of stuff. But the Steelers are basically just running all hitches. And Rudolph does a nice job, looking off the hook defender. Anytime you drop a edge defender into the hook window, they're just not used to this sort of drop. This edge defender right here, Hines Allen, like he should be like 10 to 12 yards baseline and melting based off the quarterback's eyes. He just doesn't get enough depth in his drop. This is an easy pitch and catch for Rudolph. Nice job by Scotty Miller, finding the soft void in the zone. Again, really nice pass protection there. Nice job by McCormick eating that bull rush. Next play here, this is 3rd and 4. This is honestly one of the more encouraging reps because the Steelers were not a very good short yardage team last season, and being able to pick up, a 3rd and 4 on the ground is pretty encouraging to me. So we're going to be in a 3-by-1 set out of 11 personnel. This is just like straight up inside zone read, right? And what I like about this, couple things. One, Troy Fautanu, this is an excellent rep of being able to snap and climb. So you'll see here, we get this one technique right here, this defensive tackle. He's going to be trying to play the B gap. Now, Fautanu is going to snap him, and the idea is we want to bump him at least a gap over to where he can't fall back, and then he is going to climb up to the linebacker and get in his way, make sure he can't make the tackle on the running back. Now, what kind of complicates this a little bit, and this is where like some of the drawbacks of not having an athletic quarterback who's at least a threat to keep it on like a zone read type of play, is 3 here, Campbell. He doesn't really have to respect Rudolph keeping the ball, right? So he's able to fit really fast and come downhill on Johnson. Now, what I like about this is Johnson does a really nice job of running through contact, running behind his pads, and keeping his legs moving on contact to pick up a nice first down right there on 3rd and 4. So really encouraging. Again, probably want, ideally, you don't want Skoranek. This is a really tough block. They're asking him to take on this edge rusher right here, and he kind of gets blown backwards a little bit, forces the ball kind of back out to the Forest player. But overall, really nice run from Johnson, one of his better plays of the day that I thought. So Next play here, 1st and 10. We are going to, again, be in 12 personnel. This is just something that's become very much in vogue in the NFL over the past couple of years. It's just, anytime you get these like play action bootlegs, right, you're always going to get a guy that's going deep. You're going to get some sort of like intermediate route, usually on some sort of crosser or outbreaker, and then you're going to get somebody in the flat. Now, this is one of like my favorite ways personally of doing this is having the receiver or a receiver run kind of this hide or sneak flat. And it's really good against man coverage because you can see the guy who's guarding Robert Woods here in the slot, he has to kind of work through all this traffic. He's got to avoid his own linebackers. And then really it just becomes a foot race to the perimeter. Now, in a regular season game, like I understand they're going to probably maybe try to use Woods as a blocker, assuming he's on the roster, which is nice. This is a nice kind of complement to them trying to run their zone actions. But again, you kind of want somebody with a little bit more speed, a little bit more juice. And, Bobby Trees, that's not really his game anymore. But overall, I like the play call to set up a nice 2nd and 6. And here's the touchdown play. This was really, really nice. I think Steelers fans all over the globe are really excited about the prospects of Darnell Washington having a strong camp, getting him used more in the red zone as a receiver. This is pretty awesome, to be honest with you. The Steelers are going to be in 12 personnel. You get the 2 tight ends set to the bottom of the screen. This is actually the same play that they ran when they picked up the penalty earlier in the drive that put them in 2nd and 19, but Washington actually fell down on the rep. So they came back to it. This is a premier type of look. The Jags are really showing straight up country cover 3. Now, one of the things about Washington here, the stressors in cover 3 is up the seams, right? The quarterback is responsible for the free safety. Anytime number 2, so Washington, who is the number 2 receiver down to the bottom of the screen, if he doesn't get contacted by this hook curl defender and he gets basically a free runway, this is money all day long because the free safety shouldn't be able to make a play on this thing. And he does a nice job with the ball location right here. Rudolph putting it up top shelf. Washington has a huge size advantage over the cornerback who can't midpoint that and make a play on the ball. You just look at the pass protection again, man, like really, really solid across the board. See Zach Frazier across the middle right here, just playing with excellent leverage, sitting down this bull rush, hands tight inside, not allowing the defensive tackle to gain too much ground. You look at Fautanu on the right side, get the 2-hand punch. Again, sitting down, anchor. Even Broderick Jones, he gets a little bit turned to the sideline, which you don't necessarily love, ducks his head, but he is able to kind of eat the rush. And you just look at the pocket that Rudolph has. The tackles do a good job, setting the width. The interior guys do a good job setting the dish. And it ends up in a beautiful touchdown. I also love this from Broderick. Little point at the defender. The dunk on the goalpost shouldn't be a penalty. Make the NFL fun again. But if you guys liked this video, again, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel on the way out. Let me know what you thought. Any specific questions, anything that you want to see moving forward. Going to be trying to get back in the swing of things, doing all of these film rooms as we get closer to the season and the regular season. Really excited about this stuff. As always, I appreciate the continued support. Peace and love.